What is going on, guys? Jacob here, Miami Dolphins Syndicate. A move that doesn't surprise me at all. The Miami Dolphins have officially cut Mike White, naming Skylar Thompson the backup quarterback for the team this season. I don't have to be the first one to come out here and tell you that Mike White was absolutely piss poor this preseason. He was terrible. Nothing short of terrible all preseason long. Basically played a full game and a half as Miami Dolphins quarterback. He was the backup in the first game, third guy to come out in the second game, and then got the start in the final game. And something that Donovan noted was it was probably going to be a appearance for him to go out there and try to earn the job back. Where Skylar Thompson, where he may not be amazing, he may not even be great, Skylar Thompson looks so much better than Mike White did this preseason. Mike White was a guy that was supposed to come in and be a closer representation to what we have in Tua, somebody who's just going to lead the offense, is going to be accurate, going to be able to run the offense well. And Skylar Thompson is a guy that has a little bit more athletic upside, a bigger arm, a little bit more pop, a little bit more wow. His game looks a little bit more fun. However, it was just none of that from Mike White, and Skylar Thompson, matter of fact, was way more accurate, way more efficient. The Dolphins' offense looked at much higher capacity with Skylar Thompson under center than it did with Mike White this preseason. In preseason, Mike White was 20 for 43, a 46.5 completion percentage, only 179 yards, 4.2 yards per attempt, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. I say all the time that I don't care how somebody comes out and plays during preseason, but that mostly pertains to the guys who are expected to play well. I don't care if Tua goes out there and goes 5 for 5, scores a touchdown. I care that he looks comfortable within the offense. It looks like he has maybe moved up a step in the offense, and that's what we saw from him. He looked comfortable. He was able to connect with guys last year that he didn't have a great repertoire with, and was almost solely going to Tyreek and Waddle. Tua went out there, one drive, dished it around, Jonnu Smith, Braxton Berrios, River Craycraft in the back of the end zone, some guys that are going to be next in line for the Dolphins. So Tua got out there, got out quickly, one drive in preseason. Cool, that's exactly what I wanted to see from Tua. As for the backup quarterback job, I came away from that first preseason game and saying both Mike White and Skylar Thompson were losers because of how they played. Neither of them really earned themselves any brownie points and really gave themselves a leg up in the quarterback 2 competition. And in the second game, Skylar Thompson looked good. He looked all right. He had some plays that he made. He should have had a touchdown. I think it was Braxton Berrios dropped the touchdown in the back right of the end zone. And then Mike White comes in and looks terrible. And then it was on Friday, actually. Friday comes in and was awful. Again, nothing short of awful. I think every intention the Dolphins had was to play him the entire first half, and he got pulled out. Skylar Thompson got to play a drive in the second half, or the second quarter, play the entire second half, and looked infinitely better. Skylar Thompson was more accurate, was more comfortable running the offense. 2 things that you thought were almost a shoehorn in with Mike White, as well as the athleticism, as well as the arm, as well as the mobility, as well as the things that Skylar Thompson can do. Skylar Thompson's game has started to elevate, where Mike White was just, again, nothing short of terrible this preseason, and I wouldn't be surprised if the team brings him back. Mike White very well could end up being the third quarterback on the team that they pick up after the 53-man cuts are done. Pick him up, bring him to the practice squad, have him as that third guy that won't dress necessarily on game day. He won't be part of the active roster, but he will be there in reserve to come into the game if needed. I very much expect that to be the case, even though I wish it was somebody else. You would rather that be a guy that already knows the offense instead of having to bring somebody in, catch them up to speed, and while you're bringing him in only at a practice squad level, no reps at all with any of the first team guys. So Mike White, at the very least, has that experience with the team that'll give him the leg over some other guys that'll be cut to potentially brought in as the team's third quarterback. But I don't feel great even with that. We thought we were getting a guy that could maybe not add anything to the offense, but just do what the offense asks, and that just never was the case so far with Mike White. Honestly, his biggest career highlight was just getting absolutely destroyed by Matt Milano in a Jets uniform and kind of walking it off. Zach Wilson really did him a lot of favors just with how disliked Zach Wilson was within that Jets team and how bad Zach Wilson was, to go to Mike White and see how the players rallied behind him and how he rallied the troops himself, played through injury, wanted to be out there. You saw a really dog mentality out of him, and we saw none of that with the Miami Dolphins. I'm glad that he is not going to be the backup quarterback. I'm not necessarily happy that Skylar Thompson is the backup quarterback, but massive step up. If Skylar Thompson could look like he did again this preseason, if he can look like he did his first preseason as a rookie as the backup quarterback, I'd be content with that. But we've also seen Skylar Thompson go in live reps, regular season games, a playoff game, and also not look good. So this is not a Skylar Thompson is great video by any means, but he is certainly better than Mike White, and I'm a lot more comfortable with him as the Miami Dolphins backup quarterback. Mike White, again, will probably be brought back to the team in a small capacity as a third quarterback that will likely not get much action next year, but I'm not too enthusiastic about him being brought back at all. We also cut Anthony Ferkser, backup tight end. There's going to be massive cuts going on over the next couple of days as the team has to cut down to 53, so expect more videos like this to come out. Donovan's going to come out probably with a full 53-man prediction tomorrow that probably by the time he makes it will be outdated, as cuts are going to be happening immediately. Probably might even see a couple more go out today. Very well could see. First one, most notable one, Mike White. He's gone. Probably not fully gone. Probably will be brought back, but again, not something I'm too enthusiastic about. What do you think about this move? Do you think the Dolphins made the right decision? Do you think that Mike White is better than I think, which I really doubt any Dolphins fans out here will be defending Mike White, but let me know down below in the comments what you think about Mike White, what you think about this move, what do you think about the decision to make Skylar Thompson the number 2 quarterback in this offense. Let me know down below in the comments. Hit that like button, hit that sub button. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day. Go Dolphins.